And ass.
Not you,
Look at her.
not baby. Everyone's looking at your ass.
No,
Who doesn't like that?
So episode 6, Regressioncast, December 12th, 2002. Will just disconnected and is back, so hopefully he'll be around for a while. Well, I guess now my introduction is going to be weird. Will in the bottom right, melee officer, good riddance. Boom, top right, Doug, you shut your light off, so it's kind of dark, but it's alright, it's moody. Came.
It's mood.
PvP, Druid. And then, I guess that leaves Shannon in the bottom left, who is our spin doctor. Did you dye your hair? Did you dye your hair?
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I'm good like that. Who has both Dopa and you have new pads, and you have new hair. And you play our Mistweaver, nerfed.
I don't use pads. I use diapers.
Nerfed monk with Mistweaver. And then behind me, I have Kipka, who I have claimed as my sidekick. And she plays the Shadow Priest. And right now she's Pokemoning in the back trying to catch them all.
However, you never notice if I do anything different with my hair, so we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, no, totally. I wouldn't notice. If it was her, I would be like, what? What's the point? So right away, let's go ahead and jump into the upgrades. Dopa, why don't you flush this out? What are we talking about with upgrades?
So, the upgrade system, basically, you should be familiar with it, but you got two levels with Valor gear.
Per item.
And Justice gear is just per item. Justice gear is just one. Justice gear, I think, takes you from 463 to 471, which is 8, right? Yeah, that makes sense. And then Valor takes you 8 levels also. Yeah, but you can do it in different increments. So it's 750 Valor each level, or 1500 Justice, and a lot of debate right now on exactly what items you should be upgrading, because we're in that phase where we have some best in slot items, but they're not necessarily like items that you want to blow all of your stuff on, and it's kind of an interesting place to be in with that sort of, but it's a cool feature. Right.
So what did you do? Did you upgrade everything you could right away?
Yep, I blew all my. I was sitting in the Valor cap for a while, as were a lot of our people waiting for the patch to drop, and then I actually blew 1500 Valor on my weapon, which was the shot weapon, which it isn't technically best in slot, but it's the last boss that will probably kill, so it'll be good for a while. And then my trinket, my little relic,
right?
Since that's close to best in slot also.
See, I actually, and I don't know if I've made the right decision or not. What I did is I'm just trying to keep myself from being, how do I say? I definitely don't want to be Valor capped, obviously, because that's a complete waste. So I actually only upgraded my weapon once, and I'm still kind of iffy on that one, because I think you only want to upgrade things that are going to be your absolute best in slot that you won't replace for the rest of the tier, is my opinion. So, because it takes so long to get Valor points that I think you want to. I mean, that's a lot of Valor points if you figure all of your slots and then times 2. Like, I mean, this could be over by the time you get everything upgraded, right? So I'm trying to be as conservative as I can with them.
You're looking at four. You're looking at four upgrades every 3 weeks, because it's 750 per thing.
Is that how that math works out?
4 weeks. 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks. But anyway, but Farrah was saying that Farrah's our other tank for that you don't know. He was just telling me that apparently he was wrong by upgrading his weapon first. So, and there's some heated debate on whether or not trinkets are the best thing to do. So a lot of people are jury out right now on. And the reason they're saying trinkets is because you upgrade a trinket, you just get more strength. But if you upgrade your like tier gear or something, you get 4 stats.
How's that? I mean, I guess they're weighted a little bit better if you get multiple ones. Why? Let me.
I don't know.
Why did he say he might be in the? I don't know if he's in the chat room or not. Why did he say that he was wrong about the upgrading the weapons first?
He didn't tell me what he should have upgraded first, but he just said that there was better stuff. Apparently, I don't know.
Oh
He didn't tell
man.
me exactly what he should have.
Okay, I was thinking.
I think that weapons are really good. Wasn't it? I think I was speaking to John
Well,
XX,
definitely.
and Fangrel upgraded his Shaw Touch weapon, and Sim's like 4K higher than him now in DPS. It's like pretty significant, 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I did mine, and he certainly could have made a worse decision.
Right, I can't imagine it's that bad of a decision if it was. I don't know. It's kind of weird thinking about it because I mean I'm pretty sure I went through my gear and I don't think I really have, despite having really good gear because I'm the tank and a lot of stuff gets funneled to me, really quick, or just wouldn't go to anyone else. I don't even think I really have a piece yet that is an absolute best in slot. So I mean, you got to use it on something. Otherwise, you're going to be burning valor
I
points.
do, but it's bracers, and I definitely get a bigger upgrade from my weapon than I would my,
Yeah,
bracers.
but you will be replacing the other thing is kind of the point. I don't know. How does this work?
Into the tier.
I upgraded a helm, actually. I have like a heroic helm that I'll probably wear until next tier, and that's what I upgraded. I don't have a Shaw Touch weapon yet, so.
Well, really, I mean, the point of it anyway is just to give you enough, boost to down progression. So if you got something that you're going to be using for 6 months on progression bosses, I mean, and it's a huge upgrade. That's better than something that, at the end of the day, you'll look back and be like, oh, that's technically best in slot.
How much is it per upgrade?
You know what I'm saying?
How many points?
It's 4 end
1,500.
levels.
1,500
There's like
valor
1,000
for a
DPS.
valor thing.
No, 750.
750. Okay,
Well,
so
1,500 to max
per level.
upgrade it, yeah.
right. Okay, I got you. So yeah, that means that every week, worst case scenario, if you're doing nothing, every week, every single person in your raid should be getting whatever that upgrade, which is like
On every
Every 3 weeks you
almost
can upgrade
a
one
point
piece of
per.
gear.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know. I like that system more than
Every
like
3 weeks,
nerfing
actually.
bosses. Is that what they're doing here? Is this system like supposed to be in place of, say, like the Dragon Soul thing, where they just nerfed it slowly every couple weeks?
They haven't said that.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're
But
gonna
I don't
read
think,
into
I
it,
mean, we just had like, the world first kills. I don't think they're looking at nerfing it anytime soon.
well, didn't
But you never know.
I don't know. I mean, just like, what's the point of this? It seems like that makes sense. I know for the previous tiers, like I would be sitting at whatever it was, like 8,000 valor points. I'm not really much into
I
this
think
selling it.
I think it's to justify dailies still. I mean, that's a hard sell. And they've actually, no, I'm serious. And they've actually come out and said, like, we don't know if necessarily our approach was the best one, but, and then,
Deal
they've
with it.
defended dailies for, like, ever. Oh, yeah, it's something I think they put a lot of resources into, and they want to, like, not be like, our bad.
Doesn't make it. That's not the problem, though. Like, getting more from dailies does not make it better. They're just so arduous, and like, that is not the problem. It's not the rewards.
It definitely is, like, kept questing relevant, though, because, like, every other time I played this game, like, I definitely stopped questing as soon as I max out, almost, and then 5-mans are still done. Like, I don't know, like,
I don't know.
It's same amount of time. It's just weird, but yeah, I think that's what it's for. Is just to kind of give you a little more from dailies too.
5-mans is a way faster way to cap out in Valor.
I don't know.
Absolutely, you can dedicate 2 straight hours once a week with 4 other people and go boom, 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 boom.
If you do like the one a
Especially
day,
in our gear?
it's really fast. Yeah, if you can, it still takes a long time though, because then you get like
No way.
you get a healer to
$80
go.
now, right?
It's 80 valor for like the first one of the day.
So that's like 14 dailies or something. I don't know. It's 80 divided by 5.
Yeah, but you only get that for your first one, so if you did that once a day...
Right. I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of dailies, the equivalent.
Yeah.
I don't know. We did a 5-man last week, you and I and some guildies, and we were, like, done in 10 minutes. It was so fast.
Yeah, but we still didn't get that much valor overall. We only got, like, a couple hundred, didn't we? I mean, we did it for, like, an hour.
Half an hour.
It was more than that. I don't know, because then you wipe one
it's
time
faster than
and...
killing a raid boss.
Yeah. I think that, to me, that's the big problem, is I think the raid bosses should be given way more valor. I feel like if we're clearing everything, we should max on valor if we're... Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where that should be. You shouldn't have raiders who have to go in and do 5-mans and whatever, just to keep all their...
It's a quester's game right now, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Like, if you're someone who likes to quest, then that's perfect. You get everything you need.
So heavy on
What
that
about
right now.
PvPers, right? They can upgrade their gear as well, correct?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Doug, how does this work?
Oh, yeah, Colin, sorry, Dustin. I forgot PvP people.
Oh, yes, please do. Well, like, what does it...
Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, what does it mean? What does it mean to you, Doug? Item upgrades.
It's the same thing. They just, I don't know. It's stupid for people who have multiple characters or who are getting into the season late. I see when I was talking to you the other day about it, I didn't even realize, like, because I forgot that Valor caps out at 1,000 per week. That sucks for you guys because you get even further behind, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I suppose you guys get new gear faster through drops than we can get it through, the only drops we can get are lucky shot drops.
Right.
But for us, I just view it as a lame mechanic to try and keep PvP gear on par with PvE. That's all it is for us.
What do you mean? Like they're doing this for
That makes
PvE,
sense.
so they're just trying to throw something in that's the same for PvP?
It's more of people would always complain that they felt like to be competitive they had to do PvE because the PvE stuff inevitably was better.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
But they changed that.
Yeah, hasn't that been
5.0, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying is to keep the PvP stuff on par, they added the same upgrade path. Does that kind of make sense?
I guess.
What I don't understand is if you PvP, you're not having access to the raid bosses, so you're not getting those...
That's not true. You don't know some of these nerds that do both.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you have to do both in order to...
Like all
what I'm trying to
season
say
9,
is you're not
season
getting
10,
your valor.
Shadowmourne, legendary dagger rogues and stuff. Yeah, like for a long time, if you were going to be a top PvPer, you needed to be a top PvEer too.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to PvP, you need to take your time to PvE as well in order to get, your valor. Like, it's faster to valor as a PvEer than it is as a PvPer. Is what I'm trying to say. But you still get the same upgrades.
All I'm saying is that
you don't. There aren't any way.
Right.
You have to do the PvE gear.
So it's infinitely faster to PvE.
That's what I'm trying to say, right? You're getting rewards for your PvP stuff by doing PvE things, which is kind of funny.
I think they just wanted to keep both item paths the same upgrade to make it uniform and nice and clean and
because they always have to have everything be the same. I don't know. I'm just I'm thinking about the system. I feel like if I was someone who was just coming in, this system would really make me feel like I don't want to play the game because it would be like, oh man, all those weeks that I'm behind on upgrading stuff, and
that's how it is. Like people are complaining that they can't gear their off spec now because to keep their main spec competitive, they're going to have to keep dumping points.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't think they figure in that this Valor upgrade system though to like the boss progression. Like it's kind of a bonus, but I mean. It should be a bonus, you know what I mean?
If you're not, I don't know, if you're a collective 40 item levels below someone else in PvP, I'm sure it matters enough, at the top level.
I mean, how many total upgrades are you going to have to do, right? There's a lot. 13 gear slots, 14 gear slots?
Yeah, 14 gear slots.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
15
really hardcore.
14.
16 if you use an offhand, so that's 32 total upgrades you're going to have to do by the end of the tier, times 750 Valor.
1.5. Multiply it by 1.5.
It's
because it's 1.5 weeks.
So you're saying it's 24,000 valor points to upgrade everything?
Yes.
It's 24
which means
weeks.
24 weeks to upgrade everything best in slot. Which means
That's half a year. Yeah, it's half a year basically.
6 months, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's even worse for
so this tier's going to be
people.
done. There's no way. There's no way you're going to be able to upgrade everything.
This is a terrible system.
Although
I'm calling it right
it's
now.
next-
This system's horrible.
You're going to go into the next tier with your upgraded items, right? Like, it's not...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
They're
there's
gonna
no
be
in-game,
bad.
There's no...
This is a bad system. I'm calling it. Like, what Doug's saying is huge. Like, you cannot do off-specs. You just can't. Like,
No,
it would be
absolutely
stupid.
not.
Yeah, so they've basically taken dual specking, triple specking out of the game. Like, for anyone who is
And you can't
moderately
PvE or
hardcore or
PvP
above.
here.
Well,
Yeah, well,
should
they're
your
different
off-spec
points.
be maxed that hard?
Yeah, I
Like,
think so. If you, I don't know, I liked how T11 felt like. I went in with my, my priest, who I kind of, for the most part, geared and played like almost independent of our guild, because I was doing alt runs with, random Chinese guilds and stuff, which was hilarious. And I mean, I got to the point where a lot of my upgrades, like I had nothing else to spend valor on, so I would spend it on my off spec. And so I still had like a main spec, and I also had an off spec, but I don't know, like there were places to put the valor points. With this, there's no way that you could ever have any extra valor points to put anywhere but your main spec.
True.
And I don't know.
But I mean, I think they would argue though that that's giving you more choice in what you spend your valor on.
Yeah, and I think
I think that's what they're saying.
I think that
Well,
anyone
it's
who has
cheaper.
any sort of like logic would say no, it's less choice. But yeah, I see what you're saying. That is what they would say. Wow.
And there's going to be situations where, what if we lost 2 healers tomorrow? Then we're going to make people that we've had DPS main spec by later come back to healer, right? Like we have Felinator and we have Splasian, who are both, main spec DPS right now, but have previously been main spec healers. And they could upgrade all their DPS gear, and in 2 months we could say, well, we need you to be healers full time now. And then they're at a huge loss.
Yeah, sorry, give me a second, I gotta get Dopa back. No, you're right, it does. That's the stuff that it affects the most, is like, you have so much less freedom in what you can do. Like, it's, as a raiding guild and a higher end, more hardcore one or whatever, where we're killing, for the most part, these boss every week, we should be at a point where our guys don't need that loot anymore, and we can, we can have them, get loot for a different spec or whatever. I mean, either that, or if you are any bit of a casual player, you'll never, ever, ever see your high-end gear. I don't know. I did not like this. This is really bad. But
Although for 10-mans, it kind of makes... I think actually for a 10-man guild, it might be really beneficial, because you're only getting 2 drops per boss, and you've got people that sometimes go weeks and weeks without getting a single upgrade just because of, how it works in the loot table and what's dropping for them. And at least it allows them to get the gear and progress with their guild still. Like, upgrade their gear at least what they have, right?
yeah, I don't know if it's the item points or what, but I don't know. This definitely, it feels really premature, like it's not set up correctly. All right, so we've harped on this enough. So let's move on. Dopa, how's your connection? Are you good? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Perfect. It's amazing. It's like a nuclear bomb that hits the podcast when you drop. Like, all of the screens get moved. It destroys everything. We need to fix this. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about... so obviously, as like a continuing thing, I want to do progression and like what we just killed as a guild. So, Doug, because you aren't really raiding with us right now, you're probably not going to have a whole ton to add here. But I guess all we have this week because of Thanksgiving and whatnot, and we took the night off and all that. So far, we've only progressed Heroic Blade Lord at this point. So, Dopa, what was the key to downing Heroic Blade Lord? I know you like to say how my strategy evolved, but is that really what happened?
I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, no clue.
Well, there was 3 nights that the strategy evolved until it was winning, and then there was a night of I don't know what was going on. We were wiping to what was it? I don't remember.
The deal was that people weren't stacking, and
stacking on X or square
on anything.
That's right. And then we had to do more hand holding, and then finally that succeeded.
Correct.
I like hand holding.
What I was alluding to was the fact that as people did not stack, you said my strategy was bad, and then when people did stack, you said my strategy was evolving.
No, well, it was different of stacking. See, first of all, we have a ranged officer named Cry Viper who linked a video, and the video had clearly defined stacking points, like you stack here against the wall. Then we did this strategy where you wanted one guy to stack like outside of the raid and face the raid and walk in a little bit, and melee to walk out, and no one knew what was going on. And then you realized that we didn't have the intelligence to keep up with you on the fly. So what you did was you modified your strategy for our lower intelligence to just stacking on square, like we were trying to say. We were saying we weren't smart enough, but you weren't listening. And then you finally did listen, and then we killed the boss.
So here's what I think the key to that fight.
If you just realized earlier on that we weren't smart, and then we kind of went into it thinking that, we would do a lot better sooner.
I guess. Here's what I think. So if I were to talk to someone, if someone like came, like if we had an imaginary email that said, "Dear Regression Podcast, we're dying to Blade Lord. Can you please blah blah blah." So if you have like a somewhat solid understanding of the fight, I would say, and obviously the big mechanic for like phase 1, everyone's dropping here, so I'm going to switch to me. Big mechanic for phase 1 is kind of what Unseen Strike, I think, is the actual ability. I think that's what it's called. And so that's what we're talking about the stacking, not stacking for. But I think what that is it's like almost like a red herring, where that's not the main mechanic of the fight that you need to be worried about. The one you need to be worried about is the wind step, right? Because that's the one you're spreading for. And so what I think was the key to us downing the boss. Are you still there, Dopa? Is anyone there?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Look at this is what my screen looks like.
Yeah.
Video cannot be viewed. Okay, you're back. Good enough. The wind step is what keeps you from stacking. So after we started calling out when the stacking, or I should actually say when the spreading out had to be done, and when people could just not worry about being stacked, that's when we really started being able to control the Unseen Strike. Because we would say, okay, spread for wind strike, wind step, excuse me.
Wind step.
And then wind step would go off, and then we would say, okay, get close to the boss. Basically for both things, we would say get close to the boss, and whether it was the tornado that he does that you have to run out of, or if it was the Unseen Strike, we could get into position much quicker.
Tempest?
I think so. I actually shut off the timer for that one, but I think it is Blade Tempest. I think you're correct.
Yeah.
I don't know, Shannon, you died to a lot of stuff in that fight. What were you having trouble with?
I did not die to anything in
Okay,
the first phase.
You gotta be honest for the podcast's sake. You gotta be honest. What was...
100%. Do you remember during actual progression pools, was there any issue, except for the stacking thing, which was...
Well, okay, that's what I was
going
to say.
First for me. I misunderstood it. Okay, so I misunderstood that, and I thought you wanted me to stack a little bit differently than I did.
Well, was there...
And then I figured it out, and it should be fine.
Not like harping on you, but like, was there like a... Was there any point, as sort of more the casual raider, because like Dope and I are in officer chat, and like, you know, we're like constantly fighting with all the officers about what we're supposed to be doing. Like, was there a point as like a raider outside of that where you're just like stuff started to click for you? Like, what was important that you wish you knew in this fight when you like went into it for the first pull?
I have to say the Unseen Strike was certainly a bit confusing about where placement was. I wasn't the only one who sort of seemed to be a little bit off the mark. But I don't know. Once we got it, we got it. And aside from that, like as a melee in that fight, it's really like you don't even have to think, except for the unseen strike. Everything else, don't even. I don't understand how melee get hit by any other mechanic. It is so easy to avoid them. If I can avoid them, you can avoid them. I'm pretty sure you died to avoid them.
We need to focus on our proper rotation and standing behind the boss at all times.
I'm as ready as
It's not as easy.
So
my
hard.
rotation is like all over the place. It's really easy to avoid that mechanic. I didn't need timers for that. I got like the Ruli one, Tempest Keep. Is what it's called.
Tempest Keep.
I don't know. When people died to that, it was frustrating for me.
Tempest Keep is definitely what it's called.
Oh, wow, nerd joke. That's funny.
Hey, you speaking of WoW nerd, is that a Mists of Pandaria poster in the background?
I have 2 of them.
Wow.
I want a Mists of Pandaria poster.
Because here's the deal. How do I... It's not probably that interesting of a story, but... So, remember, like, I bought those BlizzCon tickets, and I bought them for that other guy, like... I don't know. Long story short, when I got banned, like, multiple times by Blizzard. Like, they'd be like, alright, you're good, and then I'd try to log out, and they'd be like, you're banned again, deal with it. And so, when MoP came out, I actually wasn't able to buy it online, because they wouldn't take my credit card. And, even though for like a year after this whole thing happened, and why they wouldn't take my credit card happened a year ago, they would not let me buy the thing online on their store, even though I was still paying monthly with that credit card. I had to go to Walmart and buy it at midnight, and they gave me a free poster. So it was not worth it. But I gotta put a poster. If I have it, I gotta put it up.
As big a nerd. Did
Go ahead.
Kipka know you were as big a nerd when she signed up for this?
Yeah, Kipka. What? Come on. What happened?
He tricked me.
How does she feel?
He tricked me into
tricked
playing
you?
video
That's what I thought.
games. Yeah, and then I just couldn't get out of it.
She tried.
I used to like watch him play, like, I can't remember all the games, like FF10 and everything, and then he gave me, and he like said, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, here, keep me alive, and Zelda Wind Waker, and then I couldn't let anything go.
Girls love RPG elements.
It's true.
They love, oh man, just 2 more experience points, and I'm gonna level. They love that crap.
And then when Mists of Pandaria came out, I said I didn't have time to play, and so I wasn't gonna play, and he showed up with 2, and it was like, oh, I installed this on your computer, and I couldn't stop. So, it's all a bunch of
gateway
tricks.
drug.
Yeah.
She would play it anyway.
It's true.
She loves the Pokemon. I knew when that
I
Pokemon
do.
stuff came out, it was over.
But this stupid
all she
jerk
does
just
all day
stole
now.
the spawn of Onyxia from me, and that's the only problem. Again, I'm starting to get very angry. It's not as calming as I thought it would be.
Whatever. Video games aren't that calming.
More angry.
How long have it been going here, guys? Has it been 30
What?
minutes? I feel like it might have been 30
Pet Battles
minutes.
is one of those things that everyone like shat on when it got first announced. And they were like, "Oh, WoW's going casual and WoW Pokemon and like that's stupid and blah blah blah." And I'll tell you what, man, a lot of people have been sucked in. I haven't,
good.
but a lot of people have.
It's good.
It's so much fun.
It needs to get polished. It needs to get fixed a little bit. But it's like, I saw that stuff because they announced it. We were at BlizzCon or whatever. And I think maybe it had been announced before that. But we were at BlizzCon looking at it. And I was just like, this is peanut butter and chocolate. Like, there's no way that they should not do this. They should have done this so long ago. Of course it's going to work. But it does need to get fixed a little bit. Doug, you're loving it. Doug just spent like $90 on pets yesterday.
It's true.
How much
$90?
How much did you spend? I don't know. I made that up.
Oh, like 15K gold.
Oh, you just bought stuff from the
real
Age?
money? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I thought you went and like
Yeah.
bought the monk and stuff.
The
No,
what?
The panda monk. Like
Oh
it
no.
looks
little-
nothing like an actual panda monk.
it's got the big
That's a bad
sandpan
thing.
hat or whatever it's called. I don't know. All right, well,
It's actually an inverted rice bowl.
I think that we stretched this out enough where we don't have to talk about Shannon's nerfs. So,
So, no, I need to talk about this because this is funny.
okay.
So, the beginning of the expansion, she's like, Mistweaver monks are overpowered. I think I'm going to switch because my priest is not very good. So then she like power level recruit a friend with this guy in our guild for like 2 weeks, and it was like the most hellacious,
Let's be honest, I
leveling
did
experience.
it in like 3 days.
Right, and then
it was
2 days
faster.
later,
Yeah,
you're
it was
actually in a 5-man. And then, so she starts mist weaving, and she's like liking it, and then,
I like the
wow,
verb.
even out of nowhere, they just slapped her in the face with the big Nerf bat. So,
Who could have
how do you
seen
feel
that
about
coming? Who could have imagined that they would nerf that?
I wasn't enjoying my priest at all, and I have to say, like, it took me a little while to get the hang of Mistweaver. I find it's a little bit of a more complicated and pay attention-y kind of healing class than the priest was, but I like the style of healing Mistweaver over the style of healing Disc. I currently like the numbers that Disc is pulling over Mistweaver. And I just like the timing of the nerf. Like, I feel like they should nerf it next tier, so at least there's a whole tier to do it. Like,
A whole tier where you can just rape face with your uncontrollably huge AoE heals.
You know what? Those heals allowed us to really progress. Like, there are fights that those heals were really beneficial. When we were doing Empress, there was never an issue with healing. Like, we were able to plug through and push through because it was able to hold, like, a whole crap ton of heals per second.
That's true.
We might have to
Last half of that fight
I healed that fight this week, and I did 75% of the heals that I used to do. And I'm sure there's a playing style that I used to readapt to, but I think it might mean in some circumstances that I either get sat or we have to bring in another healer. That's a progression thing. I don't even care about my numbers, but I do think it is fun to rank, and it's annoying that there's no possible way of ranking on new fights just because there are all those ranks that exist already when people could do 130k HPS and now they're doing 80 HPS.
Fair enough. I did unmist weave my monk. He's now
of course
a brewmaster.
He's no longer even.
I don't know. I saw him coming. When I read those nerfs, I thought they all seemed like, yeah, it sounds about right. I don't know. That's me. But I haven't really raid healed with my guy. I've just kind of done LFRs and whatnot. So, you could be right. Maybe I would complain more too. But it is funny that you switched in large part because they're OP, and then they got nerfed.
But the whole style of healing as a monk has probably changed again. Like, it's a whole new learning experience.
Yeah.
I haven't had enough fun with it yet. That's the problem. They should have let me have a few more months of getting to be super OP, and then
I think you're gonna live, and it'll be all right.
You might not live.
Well, I don't live anyway. But
yeah, I don't tank heal you. That's why you don't live.
That's true. But I get all sorts of accidental heals from you.
On a brighter note of raiding in general, Blizzard admitted that trash respawn is outdated and no longer needed.
But they didn't say they're doing anything about it, right?
Right.
Right.
They just said someone asked them, why was trash respawn in the game? And then they said originally it was put in there to make a convenient stopping point for raiding, and also to make wiping a setback, or more of a setback. Like, they want dying to be a setback. And then now they're like, in 2012, we're not sure if it serves a purpose. That's good.
I don't know. I don't mind trash respawns in general. It used to be a lot worse. It used to be worse when you... I don't know. And you start getting into, like, the good old days kind of conversation. But, I mean, now for progression, we... Dang it, Joe.